Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, so I wanted to bring you another guest. Today on our training call, we're going to be talking about analyzing price lists and websites and all that kind of stuff. So the guest I have today is the creator of a software called Price Checker 2. His name is James Rugg. So hey James, how you doing?
Pretty good, Rich. It's great to be with you and the Pack community today. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on. So
Yeah, you're
I'm
welcome.
going to turn most of the time over to you, James, if that's cool. If you just want to kind of tell us about yourself, the creation of the software tool, and what it can do for our wholesale guests.
Yeah, delighted. So I have been a seller on Amazon since 2013, 14, and that was when I was based in the US. And I came back to England then and started selling my lead services back to American sellers for Amazon.com, and created my software Price Checker 2 in about 2016. I'm just gonna share my screen with you now. Let me know if you can see that.
Yep, we got it.
This is my my website, and guys, this is going to be the landing page that you come to in order to find my software Price Checker 2. And it really grew out of a need to run wholesale lists, and it's developed since then to also allow you the ability to look at storefronts on Amazon and to analyze storefronts on Amazon.com and across Europe. So I'm just going to jump into those two uses for you today, on the basis of them being, as far as I'm aware, and my experience in being a service provider, in being the two main ways that you're going to grow your wholesale businesses. The first is going to be in running wholesale supplier lists through Price Checker and having the software show you the real-time prices from Amazon, who the sellers are, what your margins are going to be, how many items you hope to sell, what your share of the buy box is likely to be. And the second is going to be, the second way is going to be you actually maybe knowing an item that you think would fit really well within your wholesale business, or an idea of a brand that you want to go after. Maybe you know someone who's selling on Amazon already and you love their store and you want to go and see what they're doing. Then you can use Price Checker to go and analyze that particular storefront. You can set filters and parameters up to show you the products you think are going to be best for you, and then you can take those items either straight back to your wholesale supplier and say you want to buy these things, and put them onto Amazon, or you can approach the brand owner themselves and see if you can help them better sell their products on Amazon, and maybe ultimately become one of their trusted selling partners. So those are the two ways that Price Check is used: wholesale lists and then analyzing storefronts on Amazon itself. Does that make sense, Rich?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm really excited about the second part. We're pretty familiar with price lists and scanning softwares in our business. But
Okay.
I've never tried that other part of your guys' software. So I'm excited to
Okay,
learn
cool. Okay,
about
cool.
that. So
Okay, that's
just
cool.
just to kind of clarify for everybody, so what he's talking about is when we get price lists from our suppliers, whether it be directly from the brand or distributor, often it'll come over in an Excel sheet and it'll have UPCs and pricing. And so this tool here, we're going to be able to upload it, and it's going to ping, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? But this is how I understand it. It's going to ping the UPC, and then it's going to search for that UPC in Amazon's database, and then it's going to bring back the results of, is it profitable, how many sellers are on it, and all that data. Correct,
That's
James?
correct. Yeah, that's correct. So if I open just a a results list here. This, we can go into this in a bit more in a bit more detail, but this will give you an idea of how when we look at Excel, the output in Excel, you have all the parameters that you're going to need. You, on the left hand side, you have your input data. So this is from a storefront. So you've got your ASIN. You can set your cost price, the percentage cost price of the storefront price. We generally set that at 50% of the storefront selling price, just to give you an idea as to how these products might be profitable. And then it shows you your ASINs, your brands, your net returns. It shows you your seller ranks. It shows you your prime sellers in buy box contention, because those are going to be the sellers that I imagine you guys will be sharing the buy box with mostly. And as you know, it's an Amazon metric, sellers in buy box contention. And so we use the method whereby we take the numbers in buy box contention, we add you, the +1, and then we divide the estimated number of sales that we expect for the month by that +1 number, to give you an idea as to what you might be able to sell of this item in a month, what your estimated buying cost is going to be, who the sellers are, whether we're out of stock, whether Amazon's a seller on the product, or all of those things that you'll be familiar with, Rich.
Awesome. So is it looking, when it looks to the price on Amazon, is it looking at the current price, or is it look at like average price over a certain period of time, or what is it?
So well, you can, the answer is you can choose. So
Okay.
Price Checker allows you to do a number of things. In my demonstrations today, I'm just using the reference offer, and that's the current buy box price. But if you go under the hood of Price Checker, and we go into our analysis options, you can effectively choose which price you want to be as your reference price. For instance, you can choose to have this analysis done here, as I'm showing you, using the averaged use price, the 60-day historic average price. So as you know, there's enormous swings in prices. We know that, you know, today's price might not be a good it might be not a good representation as to how the product is generally priced. And so some people like to use the 90-day landed price, the average 90-day landed price, or the 180-day or the 30-day historic price. So you really get a choice. You might find that, you know, some of your lists, you want to know the spot price. You want to use the lowest FBA price, for instance. So you can choose, or you might have a line of products that you can afford just to use, the buy box price, and you're happy to do that because you're particularly familiar with it, and that pricing works. So you can choose. That's the answer, Rich.
That's really cool. So we've used lots of different tools in the past, right? So we've used analyzer tools, we use tactical arbitrage, we've used you guys. I don't think I've seen that many options of different price points that you can run it against. And even what I love too there is number 4, the sales estimates, where you can use like average ranks, the average 30, 60, 90-day rank in your sales estimate too. I think that's really cool, because we use a lot of that when we're trying to estimate sales velocity. I always tell all of my students to don't ever use the current rank when we're trying to estimate the sales velocity. Make sure you're using 30 or 60 or 90 or one of those averages. So that's really cool that you built that in there too. I love that.
So this is these are choices where you can adjust the order. If you want to be using the 60-day average rank as your as your number one reference point, you bring that to the top. And what I do need to say to you guys is that Price Checker actually, I've never yet set up a WhatsApp group, but I'm wondering if I should. Price Checker actually is, it's complicated under the hood, and part of why it's so accurate and so powerful is because that there are so many analysis points and filters that you can add to the software for your runs, and as you become more familiar with finding leads or types of products specific to your brand categories, you're going to find that you're going to be wanting to build out these specific filters. You can, for instance, you can add any sort of custom filter that you want to the software, and these will be hard coded into, sorry babe, these will be hard coded into your product runs. And once you become sort of familiar or more of an expert in a brand or a product, then you can set up different profiles within Price Checker, so you can run different filters for different brand types, and they will make those various adjustments for you within each run. So there's a lot you can do, and I'd be only too happy to set up some some training, or to come online with any of your users. And I use something called TeamViewer, and it allows me to just come on and work together with any of my clients who are just wanting to do different things. And some of the requests are pretty complicated, and we figure it out. Another thing that Price Checker is really good at doing is creating customized columns, whereby you can bring any, you can build any number of sheets into your Excel output. So you can create 3, 4, 5 different sheets within Excel. You can cross-reference using any of Excel's functions. You can create an entire output sheet, an output file within Excel, using any of Excel's formula syntax, as we say. And again, that's extremely powerful, because you can build in your map pricing, you can build in your repricing modeling into these pricing runs. You can really do a lot through the Excel functionality that Price Checker runs on the back of.
That's awesome. It's impressive, man. I tell you guys, having a scanner will save you so much time. This training that we're going through right now, James, will probably drop right after the training I do tonight with the whole group. So the timing of this is really good.
That's really neat.
But guys, when you get price lists that are 10, 15, 20,000 SKUs long, there's just no way you can work through that. And having a scanner like this, that it can do this in a matter of hours, and bring back good results that then you can further double check manually after that. But it'll filter it out to give you a really good set of data after the fact, and tell you what's profitable and what's not. It's such an incredible time saver that
Awesome.
It'll pay for itself on the first scan easy.
Yeah, well, that's the idea. Hey, Rich, so that I said there are those 2 ways of using it. Should I just jump into?
Yeah, let's take a look at the other way. I'm
Okay.
excited about this one. I haven't seen this side of it.
Okay. So here we are. Let me just do a simple running of. Shall I do a simple running of a file? We can open a file. I can show you. I can show you on the desktop. Let's what did I call this? Just trying to find my. Sorry, guys. Okay, so here's a Walmart file. items that, selling on Walmart, selling on Amazon at the moment. And this is an example of the file that will run through through Price Checker. And what you'll find is that this file is going to be overwritten. So we've opened the file, we've opened Price Checker. We want to run a file through it. I've located the file that I want to run, and it's showing me where the output file is going to be located to once the run is completed. And I'm going to press start. So you've got your list of runs here. This is a new run, and you can see US Walmart XLS. It's those items 55% completed at the moment. You can go into viewing progress, and you're seeing that in this file we've got 453 items, and it's being processed for us at the moment. Midway down here, you can see the filters. Haven't got many filters here. It's filtering out anything that's not found, major brands, and the 5 custom filters. So if I go into my filters, you'll see these 5 custom filters other than not found on Amazon and major brands. It's filtering out anything that doesn't have an estimated sales of more than 120,000. You can change that if you want to. 120. If you want to change that to be more or less, then you just simply make the amendment here in the filters. Size is obviously important, weight, and then average review score. It's filtering out anything with a review score of 2.5 or less, and it's not giving you back your fives either. So the run's completed. We're opening up this, and you're being faced with this results file. It's color coded. Green is profitable, red is loss making, orange means Amazon's on the product. And effectively, you're getting given the information here. This product is a profitable product for you. The Pixar Doug Day's Talking Plush Dog. You can see from the output file that it's costing us $21.49. The offer there that we've chosen is $35.93. We've got a net return of just over 15%. And it's showing you your fees, your ranking, your sellers in buy box contention. So you'd be the fourth one sharing that. We're estimating 233 sales a month. So you'd be sharing 58 of those, costing you $1,200 a month to buy. And that's effectively what running a file through Price Checker is going to give you.
Awesome.
I ran a Clarence one earlier, similar output. So that's running a file. Any questions on that, Rich?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
I mean, and I've done it myself several times, so I understand what I'm looking at. So it's going to take you guys probably a couple of times running through this to get a feel for what the results of that Excel sheet mean, and it's great that it exports it back onto Excel. We can filter out all that red, all that orange, and just focus on green and
correct. Let me show you the second use case for Price Checker 2, which is within the Amazon browser or the storefront. And I've run some items through here already today. Let's see what's coming up. So I'm clicking the Amazon browser. It's opening a window, choosing my location, and I've got a storefront which is opened on Amazon. this product here, the Aveda Men Pure Performance Grooming from Aveda, sold by this brand. So this would be an example of you found something like the look of, or you've done your analysis and you know an opportunity in the brand, and you want to find out who's selling this. If they're selling it, maybe they got other stuff that they want to sell. So this is being sold by many people, one of whom is Orth brand. And you can click on that seller and you can click on the Orth brand storefront. And then because we've gone through to the storefront, you can now analyze using the filters that you've got. You can now analyze this entire storefront from the products using the same criteria that you've set up. It's gonna show you these items. So do you remember at the beginning I was saying we choose, because this is not a price list, this is a storefront, you need to choose at this point what percentage discount you think you'd be able to pick up these items for if you were receiving them from your brand supplier. Okay. Yeah. So you have to set a price for the software to make the comparison against. So when, at the moment we've got this 50%, we've got this 50% discount of the store price, and all of those, all of the items that are run through this will use that 50% to your price reference point that you set within the software. Now, you will know whether for this brand or not, 50% is reasonable, whether it's completely unrealistic and it needs to be a 25% discount, whatever. You might be on items that have much finer margins, but effectively you've got to choose something for Price Checker, and you make that adjustment there so that you can get an idea as to what your margins are likely to be if you go back out and are able to source these either direct from the brand or from your wholesale suppliers. So this is the way Price Checker does it.
So for those of you guys who are new to wholesale, 50% off is what we call keystone pricing. So keystone pricing is fairly common in the industry. So I think it's a great place to start there with that 50% off. You will find some that's only, like you say, James, 25% off. But keystone pricing, if you can get keystone pricing from your supplier, typically you're in a really good spot for wholesale costs.
Yeah, that would be really amazing. You'd have a chance of getting high teens, wouldn't you? Net margins on that.
Yep.
Once they and obviously you guys know that price points are changing all the time. But anyway, that's the storefront. We've actually analyzed this storefront. They told us, didn't they? They had nearly 900 products. Actually, there are more than that. There are more than that on the page. So Price Checker is going to give us all of these products in the same way as it ran through the wholesale list for you. We're gonna analyze this brand, and you've clicked to analyze. You can see that we've got this discount here, 50%. You can add in any different costs that you want or that you need to. There's a section within Price Checker for your prepping, your shipping, your supply costs. All of those can be added in. And once you've set up the run, you can just start the analysis of that storefront. And what we found, what we found with Price Checker is that this is just really powerful for when there's an item, or there's a brand that you think you can go after. You can find who's selling that brand, and you can find similar items which are likely to be in the same classification or category of potential as items for you as a seller. Clearly, there are going to be many brands that a small seller might not be able to get hold of. A large seller is going to be looking to shift thousands of units. They're not going to be looking at some items themselves. And so once what types of items and which particular brands are likely to suit your business, or you want to begin building your wholesale business from, then Price Check is very quickly going to put you onto other successful items that are selling successfully for other sellers on Amazon. And using this method here, but of going into the browser, finding those items, going to the storefronts and analyzing those seller storefronts, you are quickly going to be onto the trail of many more profitable opportunities. And this has been a really successful means of growing wholesale businesses for our clients over the years. So
Yep.
certainly
This is great, James. So this part of it is actually part of the training tonight too. So what we like to do is when we get an approval from a brand on a product, then we'll go into that product, all of that brand's products, and we'll look at who's selling those products, and then we'll look at those storefronts and see what else they're selling, because we know if we get an approval from a brand, those sellers are likely selling other brands that we have a good shot at getting approvals from. Right. And then this scan that you're running is brilliant, because what it does is it eliminate everybody, with the 50% off you're using now, if it'll eliminate all those products where the fees are too high, where like it's not even worth reaching out to them to begin with, because the current pricing on Amazon is just not going to work based off of, say, a 50% off or whatever you think is right. And I love that 50% off. That's what.
So look at this. We've got nearly, what have we got? 1,300 items here on this store that is showing up. And looking at our filters, we want estimated sales of more than 120 a month. Then we've got a fair shot at making some sales, right? If you have a look at this, of the 1,300 items here, we've got the majority of them being filtered out, right? These things are, so many of these items using that Keystone 50% off are not coming back as being as holding a great deal of potential for you for one reason or another. But when this run completes, and I actually ran this earlier, so I can stop and show you, or we can just carry on chatting while it closes out. You can see here the output writer. There are only 18 items so far that have been uncovered as having the criteria that I've set within Price Checker, and that's very quickly gonna help you when we see the output file. We'll see the URLs for these items on Amazon. Each one of them will give rise to a myriad of sellers who figured out that these are super profitable items, and you can go and look at their stores and you can find it. So if you have a team working just from this one run, you will find that you have you will have multiple leads given to you as a result of finding these 25 items here from this authentic brands seller, and your teams can really dial down into what which brands you're going to be able to target. And as as you become more confident as a wholesale seller, I suggest your greatest success is going to be in approaching the brand owners themselves and convincing them that number one, you have the interest of their product as your number one priority. Number two, that you can show them how you can increase the profitability and the sellability of their brand on Amazon. And number three, as your confidence grows, you're going to be able to look at the other sellers on those items and suggest to the brand owner why actually they are doing things that prove that they're not actually holding that brand and their products with the degree of ownership and care that brand owner is going to want, and ultimately that they shouldn't be allowed to partner in selling those items for the brand because they actually haven't proven themselves to be really caring about those products. And that's what wins over the hearts of the brand owners is when they come to realize that you are as interested in their product, protecting their product, protecting their price, protecting the customer service given to their clients through you, the Amazon seller. You just win over relationships pretty quickly once you can actually figure out who's doing a great job of partnering with the brand owners and actually who's not. And you'll be surprised how quickly you can pick up the signs of a seller who just isn't that interested, who actually doesn't care, and who the brand owners are actually better off not having on their product. So there's so much that can be done as you grow in confidence.
Absolutely. You're speaking my language, man. I love it. It's
Okay,
all
cool.
about adding value and building relationships with these brands and gaining their trust to be able to sell their products. So
here we go. Here are some here are some of these items from this run. What did we have? We had 1,300, and through the filter that I put on, and we've got five items here, and you can see that each of these items are profitable using this keystone method. You can see that three of the five items don't have currently any prime sellers in buy box contention. So you would be in a very strong position to win sales on these products, and Amazon's not on any of them. And remember, I was just referencing Rich a couple of minutes ago about how we can see these as great potential potential products. When we open these items and see what they are, and see who else is selling these items, or who else is selling this item on Amazon, we can look at these storefronts themselves. Actually, that's probably why these guys are not in buy box contention, because they all look grim as sellers. But if we looked at this item, this should at least, okay, here we go. Okay, so bear with me, right?
Nope,
I'm showing you
part of the process.
So I'm showing you this as a means by which you can go from this item to another seller, who's picked up this as well. So Arrowpaw Direct, or Dollar House, 34 ratings, that's likely to be a smaller seller. We can come in here, we can look at Dollar Store, what are these guys called? Dollar House. And we can see their PPE equipment that they've got. And you know, we could um, we could run this item straight through, you know, price checker. So you can go from one to the next to the next, using your leads from your initial runs.
Yeah, that's great. You find a good rabbit
maybe you
trail, and
build
you'll
out your
find a good rabbit trail though. You'll find dozens and dozens of brands to go
yeah
after. I love
yeah,
that.
and you're going to figure out, as you'll know, Rich, with your team. I don't know if you have any guys, how many guys you have on the ground, or how many guys you might have overseas working for you, but you systemize the running of these storefronts. You can very quickly dial it down to the brand owners themselves. Right, let's go and find the contact details. Let's go and find out who the owners of these brands are. Let's go and set up systematic approaches using email, using, you know, automated process, using the telephone, to get in front of these guys once we are sure this is a brand we want to get on board with. And you know, once we've learned enough that we can, you know, impress upon the brand owner that we really know their product, and can show them why we're going to add so much value to their products on Amazon by being one of their by being one of their chosen sellers.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I love this. I can already see, like, training this to my my wholesale manager, training him on this, and then deploying it to our virtual assistants in the Philippines, and just rocking it out. I'm excited about that. That's pretty cool.
well, Rich, I've taken so much of your time. I think we
No,
tried
no,
to,
it's been great, James. Thanks for coming on. I know. So I'll post this video in the Facebook group. I know we've also got a special promotion that you've offered exclusive to our group.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So when you come to use the software, you've got a 30% off coupon. And you can, if it's okay, Rich, I think that's going to be given to you and to your students direct. So just in case, just in case, is it okay if that promo code comes to you, comes to your users and listeners sort of direct through the course content, maybe, or we can put that on a page, maybe, rather than advertising it in I've just had experiences where codes have been seen and heard of in videos, and then they've
absolutely
gone
no, totally get it. Yeah, we'll post the code in the group. We'll share it just with the group in a post for sure.
One that'll be really wonderful.
Awesome.
Anything else, Rich, I can help you with at this stage?
No, this was fantastic. I would highly recommend, guys, that you guys jump in here, check it out. As you start contacting brands and distributors, you're going to get price lists that are way too big to handle. Huge asset to be able to run it through a scanner. And honestly, like, knowing this other part of it now, James, even if you don't have price lists yet, just that storefront scanner alone is worth getting a subscription to your software. So regardless of whether you've got the price list yet, go ahead and sign up, start doing this storefront scanning, and then the price lists will come, right? Like, as you're contacting the brands and their distributors, those price lists are going to come, and then you'll start using that part of the scanner too. So jump in there, use the promo code, get that discount, and check it out, guys. This is going to be pretty big. It's pretty game changing right here. I love it. Thanks, James, for your time today.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys, for looking at Price Checker too, and thanks for having me, Rich. And just reach out to me. Happy to help anyone one-on-one get familiar, and just appreciate your time tonight.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.